Today I want to speak with you about one of the most powerful ideas you will ever hear: how to create a wealth magnet mindset. This isn't about chasing money blindly, nor is it about some mystical force that brings you riches with no effort. It is about understanding that wealth, like any meaningful success, begins in the mind. It starts with the way you think, the beliefs you hold, and the principles you live by. Because the world rewards those who understand how to provide value, who know their own worth, and who train their minds to see opportunity where others see only obstacles. Before we go too far, I want you to think carefully about what you're hearing today. If you find value in these words, if they resonate with you in some way, I'd like to invite you to subscribe and share this message with someone who might benefit. It's a small act of service, but one that can help spread these ideas to those who need them most. Because the more people who understand these principles, the better off we all are. You see, the mind is like a field. Whatever you plant in it will grow. Plant thoughts of fear, doubt, and limitation, and you will harvest failure, frustration, and scarcity. Plant thoughts of courage, discipline, and abundance, and you will harvest opportunities, prosperity, and success. But the field does not care what you plant. That is your responsibility. Too many people fail to realize this. They let weeds grow unchecked. They allow the opinions of others to shape their beliefs. They drift without intention, wondering why nothing seems to change for them. They do not understand that wealth is not first a matter of effort or luck, but of mindset. A wealth magnet mindset begins with clarity of purpose. You must know what you want. You must be able to describe it, write it down, see it in your mind's eye. A vague wish to be rich is not enough. The universe does not respond to generalities. It responds to specifics. The man who says, "I will earn enough to buy a home for my family," or "I will build a business that serves thousands," has given himself a target. And with a target, the mind can begin to work. Without it, the mind is like a ship without a rudder, tossed by every wave and wind, ending up nowhere. Once you have that clear purpose, you must fill your mind with the right thoughts. You must guard it as a farmer guards his fields from pests and disease. You cannot allow negativity, envy, cynicism to take root. These are poisons that choke out the growth of wealth. Instead, you must cultivate belief in your own potential. You must remind yourself daily that you are capable of providing value, of learning new skills, of overcoming setbacks. You must study those who have succeeded before you, not to copy them exactly, but to learn the principles that guided them. Because success leaves clues, and those clues are available to anyone willing to look. But belief alone is not enough. A wealth magnet mindset requires discipline. The discipline to act even when you are afraid. The discipline to save and invest rather than squander every penny. The discipline to keep learning, keep refining, keep improving your service to the world, because the world pays for value. If you want to attract wealth, you must become valuable. There is no shortcut. The person who offers more, who solves problems better, who builds trust and delivers consistently, will always have opportunities to earn more. It is not a matter of luck, but of law. This is why I say that wealth is not something you pursue, it is something you attract by the person you become. Imagine someone trying to catch butterflies with a net, running frantically, never quite succeeding. Now imagine someone planting a beautiful garden. The butterflies come to them naturally. Wealth works the same way. When you cultivate the right habits, the right mindset, the right skills, you make yourself a magnet for opportunity. Employers want you, customers choose you. Partners seek you out, and you find that doors open that were once invisible. But this requires patience. Too many people give up too soon. They want results today, this week, this month. But wealth, like any crop, takes time to grow. The farmer does not dig up his seeds every day to see if they are sprouting. Now that we have laid the foundation for understanding what it means to create a wealth magnet mindset, I want to take you further into the habits that sustain it. Because mindset alone, no matter how inspired, will not change your life unless it is matched by consistent, purposeful action. Too many people mistake wishing for doing. They think that because they want something badly enough, it will somehow appear. But desire without disciplined effort is merely fantasy. The world does not reward intentions, it rewards results. And results are created by those who turn their thoughts into consistent, meaningful action. Let me be clear, this is not about working harder in the sense of sheer physical effort or longer hours alone. It is about working smarter, with intention and focus. It is about asking yourself each day, how can I create more value? How can I improve what I offer? How can I serve at a higher level? This habit of daily self-examination is one of the most powerful tools you have, because it keeps you honest. It prevents you from coasting, from falling into the comfortable trap of good enough, and it ensures that you are always growing, always refining, always staying ahead of the needs of those you serve. There is no lasting wealth without personal growth. The two are inseparable, because you cannot attract what you are not prepared to handle. The person who dreams of running a successful business but refuses to learn how to manage people or finances will sabotage himself the moment success arrives. The employee who wants a higher salary but resists learning new skills or accepting greater responsibility will remain stagnant, no matter how many times he asks for a raise. The truth is that the marketplace pays not for effort alone, but for value delivered. And value is the natural result of mastery. Mastery is not a gift. It is not reserved for the lucky or the genius. It is a choice. It is the decision to study your craft, to pay attention to details, to listen to feedback, to practice deliberately. It is the refusal to accept mediocrity, even when it is easier. And while mastery demands time and energy, it is always worth it. Because the person who becomes excellent at what they do is never without opportunity. They do not chase work. Work comes to them. They do not plead for customers. Customers seek them out. They do not beg for raises. They are offered them. Excellence is its own magnet. Consider for a moment how you spend your days. Do you use your time to grow? Do you read, study, practice, or do you waste hours in distraction, in entertainment, in gossip and complaint? Because time is the one resource you cannot renew. Every day spent without growth is a day lost forever. The wealth magnet mindset understands this deeply. It treats time with reverence. It uses the quiet hours of the morning to plan, to learn, to set intentions. It carves out space each day to sharpen skills, to reflect on results, to think strategically. And over weeks, months, years, these small investments compound into extraordinary results. Another essential habit is the cultivation of gratitude. This may sound surprising in a conversation about wealth, but it is absolutely central, because gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. It eliminates envy, which poisons ambition. It gives you the emotional foundation to serve others sincerely, without resentment or calculation. The grateful person says, "Look at all I have been given. How can I share this? How can I multiply it?" And in doing so, he unlocks even greater abundance. Gratitude is not passive acceptance, it is active stewardship. It is the recognition that every opportunity, every relationship, every skill is a seed that can be nurtured to yield more. Let me also speak plainly about integrity, because no amount of cleverness or skill can substitute for it. A wealth magnet mindset understands that trust is the ultimate currency. People will forgive mistakes, but they will not forgive dishonesty. The person who lies, cheats, or cuts corners may enjoy a brief advantage, but it is always short-lived. Because word spreads, reputation is built slowly and destroyed in an instant. Integrity means doing what you say you will do. It means delivering on promises even when it is inconvenient. It means treating others fairly, not because you are watched, but because it is who you choose to be. And when you live this way, you become the kind of person people want to work with, to buy from, to recommend. There is also the matter of courage, because Now let us turn to the third timeless rule for a prosperous mind, the law of service. It is as unchanging and reliable as any physical law you will ever encounter. This rule states that your rewards in life will be in exact proportion to your service. Think carefully about what this means. It is not a moral recommendation, though it is moral. It is not a hopeful suggestion, though it inspires hope. It is a law, plain and simple. Just as surely as you reap what you sow, you will receive in life a return equal to what you have given in useful service. This is one of those truths people resist, because it removes all alibis. It says that if you want more, you must give more. Look around you. Every product you buy, every service you use, every benefit you enjoy exists because someone served someone else. The entire economy rests on this single principle. When a man or woman devotes themselves to serving better, serving more people, or serving in new and creative ways, they become valuable. And value attracts reward. It is as simple as that. If you want to increase your income, you must increase your service. If you want to build security for your family, you must make yourself indispensable through service. And if you want to leave a legacy, you must dedicate yourself to serving in ways that last beyond your own lifetime. This rule cuts through all complaints about luck, privilege, or circumstance. It says you have the power to change your circumstances by changing your service. Are you willing to do more than you are paid for now? Are you willing to solve bigger problems? Are you willing to learn more so that you can serve better? This is the price, and it cannot be evaded. Many people want the reward without the price. They want the heat without putting in the wood. They want wealth without service. But life does not work this way. It never has, and it never will. Those who try to cheat this law are only cheating themselves. It is easy to see this law in action in any profession. The salesperson who learns their client's needs better, who becomes a trusted advisor rather than a mere order taker, will outsell and out-earn their peers. The doctor who listens carefully, who continues to study and improve, will build a reputation that draws patients. The teacher who cares, who innovates, who connects with students, will change lives and be remembered. In every field, those who give the most thoughtful, consistent, and valuable service rise to the top. This is not luck, it is law. You may ask, how can I give more service if my job seems limited? The answer lies in your approach. You can bring more care, more attention, more creativity to any task. You can solve problems before they arise. You can treat others with respect and kindness. You can learn the skills that make you more effective. No one can stop you from giving more service. And as you do, you make yourself more valuable, not just in the eyes of others, but in your own eyes. You build self-respect. You create the habits of excellence. This law is not only about work, it is about life itself. In your relationships, the quality of love you receive will reflect the quality of love you give. In your community, the trust and support you receive will mirror what you offer. Even spiritually, many traditions teach that you cannot receive blessings without first giving gratitude and service. It is woven into the very fabric of life. To resist it is to invite frustration. To embrace it is to unlock abundance. So I ask you to take this law seriously. Make it your personal standard. Every morning, ask yourself, how can I serve better today? How can I add more value? How can I solve problems for others? This single habit can transform your career, your finances, your relationships, and your sense of purpose. If you want to leave a mark on the world, leave it through service. Make yourself so useful that the world cannot ignore you. Comment below with this promise to yourself. I am committed to serving beyond expectation. If you live by this rule, you will never be unemployed, you will never be without opportunities, and you will never be without purpose. Because the world will always need those who serve well. It will always reward them in exact proportion to their service. This is one of the greatest truths you can ever learn, and one of the simplest to apply. Decide now that you will make it your own. The fourth timeless rule for a prosperous mind is the rule of definite purpose. Nothing great was ever achieved without it. Look at the world around you, the bridges, the towering buildings, the medicines that save lives, the works of art that stir the soul. Every one of them began in the mind of someone with a definite purpose. Someone who chose a single goal, fixed their mind upon it, and refused to let go until it was brought into reality. The tragedy for most people is not that they lack ability, but that they lack direction. They drift, they react, they follow the crowd. And the crowd, as we know, is almost always headed for mediocrity. Definite purpose gives your mind something to work toward. Without it, your thoughts are scattered and your efforts are wasted. But with it, your mind becomes like a focused beam of light, cutting through confusion and doubt. When you know where you are going, decisions become easier. You can say no to distractions because you have something more important to say yes to. You can endure hardship because you see the value on the other side. Purpose turns work into mission and obstacles into tests that strengthen you rather than break you. It is the difference between wandering aimlessly and traveling with confidence toward a destination you have chosen. Consider the metaphor of a ship leaving harbor. A ship with a captain and a clear destination will reach its port 99 times out of 100. But a ship without a captain or a destination will drift aimlessly, likely to crash on the rocks or be lost at sea. Your life is no different. You are the captain of your soul, the master of your fate, but only if you decide where you want to go. This is not theory. It is observable fact. Talk to anyone who has achieved anything of meaning, and they will tell you they decided what they wanted. They wrote it down, they visualized it, they lived it in their mind until it became reality. Many resist this idea because it forces them to choose. It requires them to say yes to one thing and no to 1,000 others. But that is the very power of purpose. It gives you focus. It gives you energy. It gives you clarity. The mind cannot pursue two goals at once. You must choose, and in choosing you give your life shape and meaning. You trade aimless distraction for committed action. You move from hoping to planning, from wishing to doing. I want you to think right now about what you truly want, not what others have told you to want, not what you think you should want, but what you genuinely desire. It may be financial freedom. It may be the ability to provide a beautiful life for your family. It may be mastery of a craft. It may be the freedom to travel, to write, to teach, to build. Whatever it is, make it definite. Write it down, make it clear. Carry it with you. Look at it every morning and every night. Let it fill your mind so fully that there is no room left for fear or doubt. This is the foundation of all success. Definite purpose is the seed from which all achievement grows. Without it, there is no plan, no progress, no persistence. It is the North Star by which you steer your actions. It is the fuel that drives you when you are tired, the beacon that guides you when you are lost. It is the promise you make to yourself that you will not waste this precious life drifting with the tide. So I ask you now to make a commitment. Comment below with these words: I choose my purpose and commit to it fully. Say it out loud. Write it on paper. Post it where you will see it. Make it your own. Because once you choose your purpose and commit to it fully, you will find that the world begins to rearrange itself to help you. Opportunities will appear. Resources will be revealed. People will offer their help, because you will no longer be sending out a confused, scattered signal to the world. You will be broadcasting clear intention and determined action. Understand this: most people will never do this. They will drift. They will settle. They will complain about their circumstances while refusing to choose a destination. But you are not most people. You would not be listening if you were. Decide now that you will be among the few who live with purpose, who plan their course, who set sail with full confidence in their chosen direction. There is another truth you must understand if you are to command respect and live with calm authority. That truth is the law of preparation. Many people want the rewards of success without the work of readiness. They want the confidence of mastery without the hours of study, reflection, and practice. But life does not work this way. Calm is not laziness. It is not apathy. It is not ignoring problems and hoping they go away. Calm is the product of preparation. It is the quiet assurance of the person who knows they have done the work. It is the steady voice of someone who has thought deeply, planned carefully, and developed skill. Look at any true professional in any field and you will see this. The master surgeon remains calm in the operating room because he has spent years in study and practice. The seasoned lawyer stands calmly before the court because she knows her case inside and out. The gifted teacher maintains calm in the classroom because he knows his subject and his students. Calm is not a mask. It is the honest reflection of confidence earned through preparation. People sense this. They respect it because it is rare. The unprepared person may bluster, may boast, may distract, but they cannot maintain calm authority because they know deep down that they are unready. Preparation is how you earn the right to be calm. When you prepare, you eliminate fear. Fear is born of uncertainty. The unprepared mind scrambles for excuses, for someone to blame, for a way to hide. But the prepared mind simply acts. It trusts itself. It does not need to impress because it has competence. Calm becomes second nature because the mind is no longer divided against itself. It is focused. It is clear. It knows its purpose and its plan. And this is visible to others. It radiates from you in your speech, your posture, your decisions. People see it and they respond with trust. Too many people try to fake calm. They think it is simply talking softly or smiling while inside they are in chaos. But you cannot fake what you have not built. Real calm comes from real work. It comes from reviewing your plan until you know it by heart. It comes from studying your craft until you can explain it to anyone. It comes from knowing yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your habits. It comes from anticipating challenges and rehearsing your responses. Preparation is respect for the work, respect for the people you serve, and respect for yourself. Without it, calm is impossible. Think about this in your own life. Are there areas where you feel constant anxiety? Examine them. Often the root of that anxiety is lack of preparation. Maybe you fear speaking in public because you haven't practiced. Maybe you dread meetings because you haven't clarified your thoughts. Maybe you feel threatened in your work because you haven't updated your knowledge. Preparation is the antidote to this fear. It is the one thing entirely under your control. You cannot control outcomes, but you can always control your readiness. And this readiness frees you. It makes you calm, it makes you powerful. Preparation is also an act of humility. It is admitting you do not know everything yet and committing to learning. It is acknowledging that mastery is earned, not given. The proud resist preparation. They want to wing it, to improvise, to dazzle on instinct. But the truly great prepare meticulously because they respect the task before them. They know that real confidence is built on real competence, and this humility becomes strength, because it opens you to learning, to feedback, to growth. The calm person is not the arrogant person who claims to know everything, but the humble learner, who is always ready. So I challenge you now for the next 30 days. Commit to preparation as a daily habit. Each day, choose one thing to prepare for better than you ever have before. Plan your day in advance. Review your goals every morning. Study your field for an hour. Practice the difficult conversations in your mind before you have them. This is not about perfection. It is about progress. Preparation is cumulative. Each day builds on the last, and over time your calm will deepen, your authority will strengthen, and your respect will grow. I want you to declare your commitment now by writing this in the comments. I prepare with purpose. I build calm through readiness. I respect myself and others by being ready. Make this your law. Say it out loud. Post it where you will see it daily. Because preparation is not just a task. It is a philosophy of life. It is the foundation of calm that commands respect. And it is yours for the taking, if you will simply do the work. There is another principle that transforms calm from a personal virtue into a powerful force for success. The principle of service. Too many think of calm as only self-control, as something internal and private. But true calm radiates outward and improves the lives of others. It is the foundation of service that is reliable, thoughtful, and effective. Service is not about subservience, it is about contribution. It is about creating value in the lives of others. And calm is what makes this service trustworthy. Without calm, service is frantic, sloppy, self-serving. With calm, service becomes careful, consistent, and deeply impactful. Imagine the doctor who speaks calmly to a frightened patient. In that calm, there is reassurance. There is competence. The patient feels seen, heard, safe. Now think of the same doctor who is hurried, impatient, dismissive. The patient leaves with even greater fear. The technical skills may be the same, but the experience is completely different. Calm is the delivery system of real care. It is the unspoken message that says, I am here for you. I am steady so you can trust me. I have made your well-being my focus. That is the essence of service, and that is why calm is so powerful in earning respect and loyalty. The same is true in business. The frantic salesperson who pressures and interrupts, who talks over the customer, who cannot control his nerves. This person may make a sale, but he will not make a customer. He will not build a relationship. He will not create trust. The calm professional listens carefully, responds thoughtfully, and asks the right questions. The customer feels respected. They feel valued. And because of this, they come back. They tell others. Calm is not just a moral virtue. It is good business. It creates a reputation that lasts longer than any marketing campaign. Service delivered calmly stands out because it is rare. In a world addicted to speed and shortcuts, calm service feels luxurious. It feels like genuine attention, and people are starved for that. We live in an age where everyone is distracted. We check our phones in the middle of conversations. We rush from one task to the next without finishing any well. Calm service says, I am here with you now. You have my full attention. Nothing is more important than getting this right. That is magnetic. That is memorable. And it is what people will pay for, return for, and recommend to others. But calm service is not automatic. It requires discipline. It requires you to slow down even when everything around you screams to hurry up. It requires you to prioritize quality over quantity, to listen instead of simply waiting to speak. It requires you to put the other person's needs above your ego's need to be right, to win, to dominate. This is hard work, but it is the work that separates the amateur from the professional, the novice from the master, And it is precisely because it is hard that it is respected. This is why the most successful people are often those who serve the most, but do so with calm consistency. They show up every day, prepared, focused, unflustered. They don't just react to problems, they anticipate them. They don't just answer questions, they understand the real need behind them. Their calm is not indifference, it is caring, sharpened into precision. It is the promise that they can be relied upon even when times are difficult. That is what earns not only respect, but loyalty. So I challenge you now, for the next 30 days, make calm service your mission. In every interaction, ask yourself, how can I bring calm? How can I make this person feel heard, respected, valued? When you feel the urge to rush, slow down. When you want to interrupt, wait. When you want to prove your point, listen instead. Service is the act of putting another's need before your ego's demand for attention. Calm is what makes that service authentic. I want you to write this commitment in the comments so you remember it and so others see it too. I serve with calm. I listen with patience. I respect with action. Let this be your law. Let it guide you in business, in family, in friendship. Because the world will always remember and reward those who serve with calm, and in doing so command the deepest respect. There is yet another dimension to calm that elevates it from mere behavior to a philosophy of life, the discipline of intentional thought. Calm is not simply how you act, it is how you think. Most people allow their minds to run like wild horses, racing in every direction, reacting to every fear, every doubt, every imagined slight. But calm begins in the mind long before it is visible in words or actions. It is the quiet governance of your own thoughts. It is the decision to think deliberately, with clarity and purpose, rather than letting circumstances dictate your state of mind. Your mind is the only territory you truly own. It is the only realm where you have complete sovereignty. Yet most people surrender it without a fight. They let other people's opinions, the day's bad news, the rude comment of a stranger, invade and colonize their thoughts. And once the mind is disturbed, calm is impossible. If you want to act with calm authority, you must first learn to think with calm intention. This is not an overnight change. It is a daily practice, a lifelong commitment to mental discipline. It is the choice to monitor your thoughts, to question them, to replace destructive ones with those that serve your purpose. Consider the gardener. He does not simply admire the flowers, he also pulls the weeds. He does not allow whatever seeds the wind blows in to grow unchecked. He decides what he wants in his garden, and he nurtures that carefully. Your mind is the same. It will grow whatever is planted there: anger, fear, resentment, or calm, patience, clarity. But you are the gardener. You choose the seeds. You choose what to water. If you allow your mind to fill with complaints, judgments, and worries, you will act with tension and impatience. But if you fill it with gratitude, understanding, and purpose, you will act with calm and authority. Most people never take responsibility for their own thoughts. They blame their mood on traffic, their anger on other people, their stress on work. But these are only triggers. The real choice is always yours. Calm thinking is the refusal to be a victim of circumstance. It is saying, I will choose what I think about. I will choose what I dwell upon. I will choose the perspective I adopt. It is not denying reality, but shaping your response to it. This is why calm people are often described as wise. They see the same world everyone else sees, but they interpret it differently. They see opportunity where others see threat. They see lessons where others see insults. Intentional thought is not about suppressing emotion, it is about understanding it. It is about asking yourself, why do I feel this? Is it true? Is it useful? Can I see it another way? This moment of questioning is the birthplace of calm, because it creates space between stimulus and response, and in that space is freedom. Most people react instantly like a match struck on a rough surface, but the calm thinker holds that space open. They consider, they choose, and in that choice lies their power. This is the core of self-mastery, the ability to hold your mind steady even when the world is unsteady, to decide your attitude before others can decide it for you, to maintain your purpose in the face of distraction. This is not easy work. It is not glamorous. No one will see you doing it. But it is the foundation of every outward success. Because how you think shapes how you feel. How you feel shapes how you act. And how you act shapes the results you get in life. Calm thinking is not optional if you want lasting respect and influence. So I challenge you now, for the next 30 days, practice intentional thought. Notice when your mind wanders into fear, anger, or judgment, and gently guide it back to calm. When you feel provoked, pause and ask yourself what story you're telling. When you start to worry, ask yourself what you can do about it. When you want to complain, look for gratitude instead. This is the real work of calm. It begins and ends in the mind. I want you to write this in the comments to seal your commitment. I think with purpose. I guard my mind. I choose calm. Let this be your law. Let it be the standard you hold yourself to, even when no one is watching. Because the respect you gain from others will always reflect the respect you first give yourself in the quiet, private spaces of your own thoughts. As we bring these lessons together, there is one final truth I want you to carry with you, the truth that binds all others. Calm is not just a tool for success or a strategy for leadership. It is the ultimate expression of your character. It is the visible proof of your values in action. The world is full of people who talk about their principles, who boast of their intentions, who plan grand achievements they never realize. But the person who remains calm when tested, who maintains composure in adversity, who responds with patience in conflict, that person is showing their true strength without ever needing to proclaim it. Calm is integrity. It means you do not let your emotions dictate your ethics. You do not allow anger to make you cruel, or fear to make you dishonest, or impatience to make you unkind. Calm says, I will live by my principles no matter what happens around me. This is the highest standard you can hold yourself to, because it means your character is not conditional. It is not dependent on being treated well. It is not based on convenience. It is who you are consistently in good times and bad. This is why calm people are respected even by those who disagree with them. They are trusted because they are stable. The temptation will always be to react. When someone insults you, your ego will demand a harsh reply. When you are afraid, your instincts will scream to retreat or lash out. When you are frustrated, you will want to rush, to push, to force. But in these moments, you have a choice that defines you. You can surrender to the impulse, or you can hold your ground and respond with calm purpose. This choice is not weakness, it is the deepest form of strength, because it requires you to master yourself before you seek to master anything else. If you want to change your relationships, be the calm one who listens before speaking. If you want to improve your work, be the calm one who plans before acting. If you want to raise strong children, be the calm adult who shows them how to handle difficulty with grace. Calm is not the absence of feeling. It is the art of feeling deeply, but responding wisely. It is the channel through which your values flow into the world in a way others can see and trust. I want you to remember this always. The calm person is not the one who avoids conflict, but the one who resolves it without losing their integrity. The calm person does not ignore problems, but faces them with clear eyes and steady hands. The calm person is not lifeless, but deeply alive, so rooted in purpose that the winds of circumstance cannot uproot them. This is the kind of person others want to follow. This is the kind of person who earns respect without demanding it. This is the kind of person you can choose to become. But it will not happen by accident. You must decide. You must practice. You must fail and begin again. You must treat calm as the skill it is, a discipline you hone daily. When you slip, forgive yourself quickly and return to the practice. Over time, you will see the results. You will feel the difference in your own body. Less tension, fewer regrets, more confidence. You will see the difference in your relationships. More trust, fewer arguments, deeper connections. And you will notice the difference in your opportunities. More doors open, more people willing to help, more respect freely given. So I challenge you right now to make this your lasting commitment. Not for 30 days only, but for life. Write it in the comments so it becomes a promise you have spoken aloud. I am calm in action. I am true to my values. I earn respect through steady character. Let this be the standard you hold yourself to every day. Let it be the measure you use when you are tempted to react. Let it remind you that calm is not about suppressing who you are, but expressing the best of who you are. And if this message has spoken to you, if you believe the world needs more calm, more integrity, more genuine leadership, then share this with others. Invite them to make the same commitment. Because change does not come from grand speeches or public promises alone. It comes from quiet decisions made in private moments and from the steady practice of those decisions until they become who you are. Choose calm. Choose respect. Choose the life of a person who leads without shouting, who inspires without boasting, who commands respect simply by being worthy of it.